Malawi on board.
So why did you stop dancing?
Because
as I said last time, the first instrumental is better than the second one.
Why
that
did
one
you
makes me dance.
Okay, dance then. Yeah, okay, I'm putting it back. Dance. Oh, look at this. Oh my god. Okay. Sorry.
Hello, people, hello.
Ah, you're funny. All right, guys. All right. Welcome back to another 5Roundz show, and it's happening on a Friday. You're with me tonight, MP, Mpaso, and you with Nala, Wantali, and Patrick on the show tonight. And we might just, hello. Thank you very much, Wantali, for that. All right. So, hey.
Are you at the talk center, man? Come on.
Wait, let me try this.
You don't get it, forget about it.
Wow, look at this toxic man in the comments. Look at this toxic man in the comments. We're not drunkards, sir.
So Mr. Definitely Not Francis, thank you very much for joining, sir. He says, I've just come to accept that y'all will never be on time. We were on time. What are you talking about?
Yeah. So guys, is the audio okay? Is it okay?
Yeah, that's good.
Check.
That's good. Yeah, that's good. Yeah.
Just checking, because I just had to remove the call center headsets there. So
Yeah, because you're not eating the mic anymore. So good.
Oh wow! All right, okay, guys. So let's just... Good energy on a Friday. Well, tonight's show is it's a man's game. All right, so guys, things got heated last week, and the walk mob woke up again, and after Graeme Souness, a former football player, manager, and current Sky Sports pundit, you could call him a presenter, reacted to the 2-2 draw game. It was a football game, so it was a 2-2 game that was Chelsea versus Tottenham. So tonight we're not going to be talking about football. Tonight we're going to be talking about the uproar that followed after the Graeme Souness comment. So
I think he should just stick to his first name. Just stick to
Graeme.
his
So I'd say Graeme.
Souness.
All right, I said Graeme. All right, so guys,
don't listen to this guy, man. Don't listen to this guy.
Yeah, so guys, I can't make this up. So Souness' comment was just as simple as, so his comment goes like, we've all played the game. When you see simulation, people throw themselves on the ground. I've not seen that in 2 games today and all that stuff. I'll play the video for you guys so you can actually capture this moment and understand what I'm actually talking about. Yeah. So we're just going to play the video. We're just going to play the video for you guys so you get.
Factor, his recruitments have been all 6-foot players. Trying to add that. I think that's what we've seen from this Spurs side today. They never gave up.
I think referees are letting a lot more go, and it makes for a far better watch. We've all played the game. When you see simulation, people throw themselves to the ground. I've not seen that in the 2 games today. It's a man's game all of a sudden again. And the referee, I thought, had a fabulous game, other than something we'll point out later. But I thoroughly enjoyed both games today.
So, guys, we won't get into listening to the whole interview, but you can hear what he said there. It's a man's game, talking about football, and as you can see with the title there, it's a man's game. So talking about this, the same Sky network being the channel and stuff like that. In 2011, right, there was these presenters, Andy Gray and Richard Keys. They got fired for just making a sexist comment, more of a derogatory kind of like comments about a female referee that kind of called an offside on the game, that she was on point, but they say, women in that situation are not supposed to be in men's football or whatnot. So in this era of self-censorship and, offensive mongering, right, did Graham,
What?
the same.
Say that again. What?
In this era of self-censorship, so every time I'm talking, I have to
The
make
last
sure
word,
that
what? Mongarin.
yeah, that offense mongering, offense mongering. So in this world, like everything that I say online or write it down, I shouldn't talk about a certain gender, associating it to a certain situation, right? So what I was just trying to understand is, like, what are your thoughts in this statement that Graham had said to say football, it's a man's game.
Do you want me to
Sorry. Yeah.
Go on, Pat. Okay, so I mean, to be fair, when I saw it online, I thought people are overreacting, man. What's going on? He was referring to a game that was being played by men. I don't think he was trying to say that football is a man's game. But having just watched that, I understand why it could come across sexist, because it's the way he referred it, what he's talking about and the way he referred it. Because he's talking about a game, of course, between two groups of men. And then he goes, oh, it's turned into a man's game now. What? Compared to what exactly? You know what I mean? Because if you're saying it's turned into a man's game now, what was it before? Was it a child's game? Was it
it was being compared to something else.
Exactly. So what is he trying to say? Is he trying to say the man is stronger and everybody's not? It can be taken the wrong way. That's the first thing that I thought when I watched that video. So you can see the difference in reactions even now. Social media, I was like, but then I've watched it now and I'm like, Mr. Souness, I don't know, fam. I don't know. It's a bit peaked there, basically.
What's your take, Nala? And guys in the comments, what's your take on Souness' comment there?
I think it was a very sexist comment, because in a world today, in an era where you have cancel culture as well as the woke culture, you kind of have to analyze what you say. You have to always sort of like take a step back and not refrain from saying certain things, because like he got a lot of backlash from this. So I think it was a sexist comment. That's what I think. And one time he said most things.
All right. Patrick, yourself, guys in the comments as well, you can go on and write everything that you need to write. Wantali, can you help me with the comments if you can, please?
Okay.
So before he goes to the comments, I just wanted to say one thing. Listening to that, he said he didn't say it's turned into a man's game. I didn't hear that at all. Didn't he say that it's back to being a man's game? I think him being an old school guy, like, look, I'm gonna be honest. I think sometimes we are a bit soft these days, especially these days. We want to look chill. We want to look at certain things, and as soon as somebody picks it up, we want to follow that. Oh, just because somebody was unhappy with this, let's analyze it and then pick it. Because what he said is it's back to being a man's game. He didn't compare it to anything at all. He just said it's back. I think he was trying to say, oh, for the past few seasons, this guy, when he goes on Sky, he's been complaining, even Noy King, saying, why are people calm down. So why are people soft these days? They just fall down to the floor, and these days they just scream about. I think that's what he wanted to say, but he used that it's a man's game, and then things went bad. And I get it why people are not happy. But overall, I have a feeling that what he was trying to say is maybe these footballers that are a bit soft these days, that they just cry over everything.
Thank you.
Neymar, I'm looking at you.
Okay. No, hold on. Patrick, thank you for saying that. Maybe he looked at them as soft, right? And then he brought gender into it, so soft gender, right? So he went, it's now a man's game. So who's soft? Who are these soft people? Because he's just said it's a man's game, right? Which means it's now they're stronger,
trying to say
right?
the players are boys these days. They act like little boys.
Okay, so that's okay, is it?
I don't know. I'm just saying. I think sometimes as people, right, as somebody might just describe something in a certain way in the wrong, but I don't think that meaning that. But I've seen the world these days. They attack. They go on the attack. We go on the attack. It just takes one person. And the thing I've also noticed is some people might want to say how they feel, but they're afraid to get cancelled. Then they don't say how they feel. Then they'll join the train that says, let me go toward this. Because if we sat down and thought about it, I think yes, what he said has come out wrong, and by all means, it will get
But
a lot of people pissed off. But I think he was trying to say, oh, they're back now to being more physical. Maybe he should have said that, but I think he just slipped through his tongue. Because later on, you could see when they zoomed the camera, his face was like, oh shit, I just said that. Yeah.
But
Anyway.
Patrick, I'm gonna stop you there. Are you saying that you feel like these days people are too soft, but maybe back in the day they just didn't want to express those feelings, and our generation is able to do that because they don't take bull from anybody. So this is why people are able to speak out and say, no, that's wrong. You shouldn't say things like that. That's a bit sexist.
Yeah,
So
I do support all that, and I do understand that. But I'm trying to say, even in general, I think the world these days, we pick and choose what we can jump on, because I have seen few people do something and they get away with it, i.e. Kanye West. But you find certain people do something and then we are on them on full blast. You get my point?
Jesus is Lord.
That's why that time I wrote obviously off camera. I wrote that I was quoting your man saying sometimes people only do fairness when it benefits them, but when it doesn't benefit them, they want to try to be fair. But in this case, I get it that it's going to offend a lot of people, and trust me, in this world it will. But I think sometimes we have to sit back and actually sometimes understand, give somebody the opportunity to explain themselves before we just attack full on. Because I think we have to give, like when they gave him on TalkSport, unfortunately, he didn't help himself that much because I think he was already sweating. But I think this generation these days, give people to explain themselves that what do you mean by that? But before we do that, we want to cancel them. The same way they wanted to cancel the girl from Black Panther because she made a comment about vaccination. Like after later on, she said, I didn't mean like that. I was saying, I don't want people to be forced. I don't want somebody just say, I want you to be vaccinated. I have a choice to say yes or no. Why everybody went after her? Don't put her in Black Panther too. I'm like, give people an opportunity, because we say equality, but yet when that same equality and freedom of speech, when somebody says something, we attack them. I thought we're the same people crying for freedom of speech. So anyway, I'm thirsty now. I'm out of words. But anyway, that's what I wanted to say. That's what I want to say.
You get it? If
But
you don't get it, forget about it.
Patrick, so just because you have freedom of speech, does that allow you to just go around saying whatever it is?
No, but that's what I'm saying. The people who come after everybody, the people who come after, they say, oh, we want everybody's freedom of speech doesn't have a limit, but we put our own limits just because it doesn't relate, like it doesn't resonate with us. I was about to break there. So
I was just waiting on that. I was like, come on. I can clip this.
But you get my point. It's just that that's how it is. Unfortunately, that's how the world is. And sometimes I sit down, right, and say, look, what this individual has done is wrong. But we never give each other opportunities these days to educate. Yet people to say, oh, if somebody's been racist, let's educate them. But do you ever give an opportunity to other people when they do something? Yeah, that's all I can say.
Okay, I'm just gonna read the comments real quick. Definitely not. Francis says, where are the shots? Hey, we don't just have shots every day, huh? You know what I mean?
Who do you think we are, man?
Who do you think we are, fam? And where is your shot? Where's your shot? He says, I liked it better when Nala and MP were in the same place. Oh.
Wow.
Raluca says, hi everyone, and Uncle Francis. Hi Raluca.
Hey, how's it going?
Good evening, Aunt. Definitely Francis. Okay. Definitely Francis says, what's up with these faces? What faces? Vanessa says, 1 minute man, Uncle 1 minute man, sit down. Wow. Put down your Twitter fingers, he says. Okay. I think wow. Okay, what's going on in these comments, man? Honestly. So definitely not. Francis says football is the people's game. End of story. Okay. Okay. All right. And then he definitely not. Francis says it's hard. It's hard to say. It's hard to say if he was being sexist, because again, just said a man's game and nothing really. Like if he made a comparison, then yeah, sexist. Okay. He did actually make a comparison without actually going back to the comparator. You know, That's what he did.
What does this comment have to do with anything?
So apparently, Ovi says women's football is just difficult to watch. We need to bring back what he said on women,
Yes.
the equal pay one. Because
I wish he was on this because Ovi was wilding out on this.
His name is Ovita, that guy.
Ovi too nice.
Cancel him.
Definitely not. Francis says there's nothing wrong with saying that something is manly. Like if someone is acting like a child in a situation, a man would be more suited. There's nothing wrong with that. But that's based on perspective, perception, or whatever it is. I mean, this is a high speed. The thing is with these old school players, right? I'm just gonna get a little bit technical. It's a high speed game with people that are a little bit fitter and a little bit, they're a little bit fitter, a little bit faster. So if this person is coming at you at 30 miles an hour, boom, and you fall to the ground. I mean, I wouldn't excuse anyone for falling to the ground because they've been hit. Of course, there are people that take the mick, but you can't just go, all right. You can't just go, hey, wild one, this is whatever. And then Veruca says, I reckon even if it was a sexist comment coming from that specific person, women can still play football and even brought it home recently. So I don't see the fuss really. Yeah, that's fair. Definitely not Francis. La Ruca spitting facts. What's wrong with y'all today? What's going on? All right, cool. Yeah, that's the comments, man. That's the comments.
Unreal. So I'm just gonna try and share this. If it doesn't, then
another one.
No, I'm just gonna. All right, so this is a post I saw on Twitter, and it's from Bethany, England. So she brought it back home, did she? So the Lioness team over in England won the Euros Cup and everything, but then she was also fighting back to talk about Graeme's comment there, and she went on to say, she says, "It's a man's game, men at it. And get in the trash. What a disgraceful thing to say after the summer this country has just seen." So it's a thing. Whoa, what's wrong? I'm trying not to eat the mic. Sorry, people.
Well, you're eating the mic now.
Okay, how about that? Is that clear? All right. So looking at excuse me. Looking at Bethany's comment there, it just goes to show you that Bethany,
the football player.
Yeah, the football player. But then so while Bethany was working on commenting on that, her tweet went on to have 54K likes and everything, right? But someone else pulled out her records and stuff and said there was a tweet that she tweeted, and it read to say, "Unbelievable, the women's game making big moves, creating history." So she's also putting a gender kind of quote there to say women's, and Graeme went on to say men's, right? So it's a thing that Patrick was just saying early on to say, it all depends on who's saying it. The way you want to say it is the way it's gonna, explode. Because if you say it the way you,
I think let's not get it confused here. Identifying something like say men's football, women's football, man's game, woman's game, that's not a problem. But then if you say this is now becoming a man's game, compared to what? Do you know what I mean?
Why do you keep changing his words? Why do you keep changing his words? Why do you keep changing the words?
I'm not changing the words. I'm literally quoting what he said. He said, "This is now becoming a man's game," or it's back to being a man's game. Compared to what?
It sounds it sounds as though he was comparing it to a woman's game. That they were playing like women at some point, and now they're playing really manly and tough and whatnot. That doesn't make sense.
I think he was comparing it to the same game. I think what has happened is, trust me, for the past months or the past seasons, players have been taking advantage. And so, there was one who was it last week? He went to the ground as if somebody shot him, man, and didn't touch him. He was like, he went to the ground, and I was like, we get it. Maybe that's what he was trying to say, that maybe people are stronger now. But I think when he said how he said it is what has got him a bit in trouble. But what MP has said, let me just say that MP, that status that she wrote, if it was a football player, a man who wrote that, they're going to be in trouble. I can tell you that.
Yeah.
100%. 100% they're going to be in trouble. Because these days, what I've noticed is what a certain individual say, another individual can say and get away with it, another one won't get away with it. That's how it is.
Okay, look, I think I need to make this clear. I think for me, I'm not really upset.
We can hear you. Please do.
I'm not really upset with what Graeme said. I'm not upset with that at all. Like, I'm not upset with I'm not upset with Graeme. Let me say it that way. Do you know what I mean? He could have meant whatever, but it's just that the impact of what he said is different. Like, I think for somebody like him who's in the limelight, you should be a little bit more I guess cautious. I don't know. For me, it sounded that way. But like definitely, Francis said, we took it the wrong way. Maybe we who are saying, hey, no, but that's not right. He can't say that. Maybe we're taking it the wrong way. But this is why we're here. Opinion. You know what I mean? It's why we're here, and it's why we're having this discussion now.
So the question is it really a man's game? And are we still like? Are we still in a man's world? Like,
let's read the comments, because a lot of people
go on in the comments. Yeah,
calm down, sir.
Yeah.
And also, before I read the comments, guys, if you're new to the channel, I forgot to close the chat to subscribers only. But if you're new to the channel, make sure you like, subscribe, and hit the notification button, guys.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? If you ain't listen, guys. I'll be counting the likes in there. I know how many people are watching. I'll be counting the likes. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So basically. Let me read this.
Mr. Policeman.
Oh yeah.
Traffic police. Traffic.
Yeah.
Let's see. Oh, okay. So what's up, Miss Melina? Big Arsenal fan.
Hey,
sorry.
what's up?
Arsenal. Woo.
Definitely no. Francis says.
No, right?
Definitely no. Francis says this whole gender war is dumb. Honestly, well, it's a discussion, bro. It's not a war. Nobody's bringing it out.
You're gonna get cancelled. You're gonna get cancelled. Definitely no, Francis. Just like Andrew Tate. Cancelled. It's the mic. It's the mic. It's the mic. It's the mic. Relax.
I've got so much content.
He's gonna get cancelled.
I've got so much content. I am
you're gonna give him a disease. Like,
Oh, cancel.
Anyway.
cancel me.
Really just said we just need to admit men's football and women's football are two different things. It's true. I'm a feminist, but we need to accept gender roles in society. Again, I agree. I agree with both things you said.
Can I just add something
I agree with that.
Yeah.
Can I just add something on that?
Yes.
But then just recently we've introduced that trans can join in all the sports and stuff like that. This is getting big now.
What now?
So it's getting big now. So it's not only men and women's football now. We have to add in a category of trans and all. So
MP, take the L. MP, take the L. Take the L. Take the L. Take the L.
Andrew Tate vibes.
I'll walk away from that one. Yeah.
Yeah, take the L.
Come back with that one. Might want to come back with that one. Okay.
Yeah,
let me
say what you wanted to say.
Let me just read this. Definitely no. Francis says like and is two different things. Okay. Definitely no, Francis. Appreciate it. This whole gender thing is
1 minute, man.
It's getting worse infiltrating nowadays. You can't do anything without gender somehow being attached to it, even if it's irrelevant to some extent.
Points.
Well done.
Men are birthed by women, so it's a woman's world all around.
Wow, being smart, yeah. Smart. Yeah. Is it the chicken or the egg? Yeah. All right, being smart. All right.
It's a what means. Hey. Okay. Miss Melina says, look, sports is a game for both people. But when a certain person at a position of influence says it's a man's game or a woman's game, they are looked down upon because of gender roles. This is interesting. It's true. It's true. Somebody of a certain position, especially someone you look up to, you will expect a bit more from them. It's just the pressure of being in the limelight. Do you know what I mean?
Can I ask something, right?
Mhm.
Okay, so what about where was some of this energy when this man was always after Pogba?
What?
I was there. I've never liked this guy because
Yeah,
of
but
Pogba.
nobody,
Not the men thing, but the
nobody
Pogba
in
thing.
the media was making
Can you drop in one comment?
But this is not.
Can you drop in one comment?
This is not about football. Yeah, well, you want to pick the comment.
No, I mean, Patrick should drop in one of the comments that he said about he said about Pogba. There.
Oh, trust me, he was on Pogba.
He said too many things.
Even if Pogba is not there, so where was this energy, man?
To a certain point, I almost thought that he had something against Pogba simply because of who he is.
But anyways, yeah,
definitely. No. Francis says people are good at the roles they're good at, like Laruca. It's right for real. Hi Anna, how's it going? Welcome to the show. Definitely No Francis says yes. Men's football is a man's game. Women's football is a woman's game. We don't disagree with that fact. Do you know what I mean? Bloody hell. Francis, my biggest fan. Thank you for your continuous support. I wouldn't be where I am without you. Start a YouTube channel. Definitely No Francis says. What? You're very well. Allah.
Very much welcome. What's
getting big, MP? What is this podcast? Oh my gosh. Nessa, please. we don't stamina shame. So he's gonna start his own topic. Did you hear what Nessa said about me? It was stamina shaming.
She said I was a 1 minute man. Of course you are.
Wow. How do you know?
Damn.
How do you know?
Damn.
He said it live on air.
Where? Prove it.
I will go and get
That's rough.
That is crazy. That is crazy. Much, yeah, that is crazy.
That's cap.
That's cap. All right, just to continue with the conversation there. So, why do people still have this perception of this is a man's world, guys?
Like people. So people have that perception.
Like it is in the idea of that. You can hear it from Graeme say, okay, football.
Yeah, but it didn't say it's a man's world, though, did it?
Well, the tweets are really driving to that because the mob are out to say, well, this is football is not a man's thing.
Why don't you do
this and stuff?
You know what? Let me put this poll. All right.
Yeah.
No, I'm just gonna ask. No cry. Have you heard that song?
Okay, first of all, what's with Patrick and singing these days on the podcast? Patrick, is there something you want to tell us?
He's looking out for that record.
I'm gonna throw some change your way. Okay, and fund your singing career.
Guys in the comments, I put a poll on. I've asked the question, guys. Is it a man's world? Let us know so we can then move with what MP is saying. Is it a man's world? Can you please vote in the comments? Yeah, so we know. Yeah, we know what you guys think. Sample size and all of that.
What do you mean? Are you trying to say that this whole
is this a man's world? Was it built for the man? Is it catered to the man? Is the man at an advantage? More than a woman? Is a woman existing for the man? Stuff like that. Is this a man's world? Is everything?
How do you want us to change the conversation? Yeah, continue, Patrick.
I'm gonna go vote as well, just for violence.
What?
So, Patrick, why do people still have the perception of this as a man's world? Patrick? Earth for Patrick.
Like who is saying all this?
I don't know if you've been on Twitter, but it's been out there to say, everything that's looked upon is more of reflected to say, you guys, the way you put it, no, not you guys, people put it, because we don't want to be cancelled here, people put it that this word is more of, benefiting the man.
We don't care. Cancel.
We don't care.
Benefiting the man.
Keep going, Mr.
So, so why do people still think that when we're actually trying to make things all inclusive, we're trying to make sure that everything is out there? Because you know what, just recently we were celebrating the Lioness, stars on winning their Euros and all that stuff. The whole world was behind watching the Euros. We've been, celebrating all the women athletes and all that stuff. We've been celebrating all the other genders and everything. Why do people still have the perception that it's a man's world when we're actually putting all the support over to all the different genders?
Can I say something first? First of all, I'd like to say when the women's team of England won the trophy,
yeah,
I didn't give a shit. It's not my country. I'll only be happy if Malawi, the women's Malawi team, wins AFCON or wins the World Cup. So none of my business. I don't care. Anyway, so look.
Wow.
Why should I be happy? It has nothing to do with me. I'm Malawian, and there's a Malawi women's football team out there that is also playing football. So why should I sit in my team?
I mean, a Malawi women's football team wouldn't be playing anything else now, would they?
They play AFCON, man. They're good sometimes.
Wow. Guys, just continue the conversation. We're not talking about football tonight. We are not talking about football. Patrick, continue. Enough about the football.
No. Wait a minute. Shit. Yeah, Nala, what's the time of death, man?
Time of death, guys. 1932.
You're bored.
Now I'm heated. Off with nothing. This is not right, man.
All right, continue, Patrick.
No, that's what I'm saying. That I don't understand what you're trying to say. Are you trying to say that people are still getting pissed off, saying, "Oh, it's still a man's world. Why we've been fighting for so long for equality?" Is that what you're trying to say? That people are still in that mentality instead of just accepting that maybe it's a balanced world? I don't get your question, to be honest.
That's the same point I was driving to. You've just clearly put it. Yeah. So continue with that.
So I answered your question without knowing that I'm answering your question.
Yeah. Continue. We're listening.
Can we move to the next question, please?
All right, Nala, take it on. Yeah. Sorry, guys. Well, happy Friday. Yeah.
Let's put it to her, maybe.
Yeah, I think to an extent with that question, you kind of have to go back in history and understand why some people kind of have that mindset. A good example would be the manufacturing industry, where it was historically portrayed as a man's world. You know what I mean? I'm not saying that there was no women within the manufacturing industry, but to an extent, that was based on men back in the day. Okay? So I feel like men had sort of like a head start, and women are starting to gain that traction. That's why people still have that perception in life. I don't know if you can kind of understand that.
Yeah.
That's what I think. It's
Right.
not like women are not performing well. They are. It's just that I think to an extent it has to do with knowledge. It has to do with lack of knowledge. That's why people have that perception.
Okay. All right. Okay. Wantali, would you please go in the comments maybe?
With pleasure.
With pleasure.
Thank you.
So the votes are in, man. The guys, 78% of the guys watching say, look, it is a man's world. So 22% no, say no, it's not a man's world. So there you go.
Wow, man.
Oh my god. Okay. Let's see. We have a few.
This is so wait. The vote from all these people say it's a man's world. Okay.
Yes. So definitely not. Francis says wait, I'm 3 times a 1 minute man.
Expose your names just
because the infrastructure is pretty much handled by men. Melina says, Wantali, you're asking if it's a man's world, but man has changed significantly. Now, a man in the media it's meant to be men. It's meant to be men. Come on.
All right.
So you're trying to get me clipped here.
all right.
I'm about to have a field day.
Now men in the media are meant to be portrayed like softies and not men who protect the house like before. Okay,
that sounds very interesting.
Okay, but let me be the devil's advocate here.
Yeah.
Women want men to provide. Women want men to provide, but they're not happy to admit it's a man's world. Then if it's a woman's world, wine and dine your mister.
I knew Patrick was gonna dance on this one. I knew Patrick was gonna dance on this one because Patrick is very toxic.
Miss Melina says nowadays the media shows man as flamboyant to a certain extent, and not like before, where men go to the military, take care of the household, and a strong mindset. Okay, go. Okay.
Jody Show is the show that does that. Jody Show.
Whoa. Yeah. Continue.
Ruka says, I'm happy for it to be a man's world, as there's men's jobs out there that I won't take, and if they deserve more pay for it, so be it. Wow, Ovi is dancing to this one because Ovi was adamant. He said there's certain jobs women can't do, and we all went.
No, but that's different though. That comment is different. It's not. She's not saying that she would. No. She's not saying that she wouldn't do that job. She's capable of doing it, but she doesn't want to do that kind of job. That's what she's saying.
So it's a man's game, yeah? Football's a man's game, yeah?
Rather not. Okay.
Clip him. It was at 36. It was at 36 minutes.
Don't you worry, Patrick. Wait. Post it on social media. Don't you worry, okay? I got you.
Wait a minute, Patrick. What were you pointing at?
The snitch.
You literally go like
Clip
him.
One time. Next week, MP IG.
Apologize. I just want to I'm sorry.
I'm really sorry. I even put out a whole statement.
Wow, Raluca's getting props up in these comments, man. Miss Melina says Patrick is trouble and toxic. Wow.
Amen. I completely agree with you on that statement.
Definitely not. Francis says get wine and dine.
Definitely. I'm gonna be spoiled.
Miss Melina says this show is very underrated. Oh man, we appreciate it. We appreciate it. Okay, so
play the music. One time, the music. Hit the music.
What exactly? You know,
hit the music. Hit the music.
My mind is dying with this guy.
You embarrassed them. All right, just
no.
Not that one. Not that one.
The other one.
What the hell?
You guys
you got mind. Fun.
By the way, and then 5 clowns.
Oh.
Okay.
Hey,
we're meant to be talking here. We're meant to be talking.
Oh,
okay.
Back to talking.
I'm actually heated because of this movement.
So look, I wanna say this, right? I think thinking about it, it's definitely a man's world. It's not about perception even. It's definitely a man's world. I'm gonna go to the Billy basics here, right? I must tell you why I think it's a man's world. When, for example, when Ukraine and Russia went to war, right? Yeah. The first people that were enlisted or had to go to the front line were men, straight away. The people that have to win back the world or their country or gain power for their territory were men. What were women?
Titanic.
What were women? Women and children were told to hang back, even allowed to leave the country. Do you know what I mean? So in a moment that decides where your home is, where everything starts, it's a fight between men. Of course, there are women in the army, no doubt. But what I'm saying is the large numbers, it's men. You know what I mean? The two leaders, men, and stuff like that. So that simple example alone just tells you that it's still a man's world. Men are still making these key decisions, be it maybe they're crazy sometimes or whatever it is, but this is the world we're living in right now.
Oh my God! Can you acknowledge him? You keep saying Titanic.
And I'm not trying to sit here and say, "Hey, I'm a man. It's my world." No. I'm just trying to say, look at the way it is. Sometimes you just go look at it the way it is, and that's the way I see it.
Titanic.
Don't say Titanic again. Oh my God. It's too hot, man. I need some water.
Oh man.
They say women and children first, and the men had to stay back and drown. Come on.
Unreal.
Because they know women will be able to reproduce.
Shout out to Jack for freezing.
I think I pissed off a few people.
Did you?
It's all good. That's what we're here for.
So
you about to get canceled.
So just talking about being cancelled there, Nala. Looking at it, like, is it justified to the way we reacted to what just happened and how you're understanding it now? Like, can we justify to say, okay, we reacted in the right way, and people, the way they're looking at it, to say, okay, Graeme said, oh, it's a man's game and stuff like that. Is it justified to react in that way that everyone else says, oh, it's wrong for him to do that? Can we really justify that in this situation now that you understand the story?
I think people are entitled to their feelings. If they felt everybody's entitled to their feelings.
Speak with your chest.
Yeah, if you feel a certain way about a certain comment, it's your right to go out there and be like, yo, what you said was disrespectful. I don't think that's right, based on this, and this. So, like I said, everybody's entitled to their own opinion. If people are offended by it, they've shown that they were offended. But again, I said this earlier, because he is in the public eye.
Yeah.
I think to an extent he kind of needs to, maybe he might not mean with that statement. I think he didn't mean to be sexist, but at the same time, you kind of have to sort of like pull back, analyze what you're about to say before you say it, because people will come for you and people will cancel you. So people are entitled to feel whatever it is that they're feeling, whether they like the statement or not.
Oh, okay. Patrick, tell us, guys, in the comments, please do comment there about, is it justified for us to react the way we did after understanding the whole story?
I'm a believer in fairness, so I'm not gonna judge people like one Tali who are not happy with this. So
Sir,
I'm not going to judge them at all.
You capping. You capping. You contradicting yourself, because you threw in a video a couple weeks ago. You threw in a video in our group chat about a lady that was. I'm not going to go into details. I'm not going to go into details, right?
Get stitches, right?
You threw a video about a lady that is trying to. Well, she's speaking her mind, and you thought what she was speaking was trash. Right?
Snitch.
So
you're gonna get canceled like Andrew Tate there. He walks off camera.
No, listen. Like I'm not condoning what this woman was saying, but you are the same person that's saying that you're very fair. Why were you not fair in her situation when she was going on to talk about whatever she was talking about? But on this matter, you're saying, oh, I'm a very fair person, and I think we should look at things from both sides. So, Sarah, you're capping.
We should. In this world, sometimes it's good for you to sit down, listen to what the other person is saying, understand, accommodate their feelings. As you said, everyone has the right to say whatever they want to say, react the way. So I support you. I'm a huge supporter of fairness, as I said. This woman, I don't remember her. I don't even remember the video. Did I post the video?
Yeah.
Me?
Twice.
Wow.
Twice. Wow. You know what? Next time when I post these videos, just remind me, because I post a lot of videos, and these guys can also agree. I post a lot of videos, so I don't understand which woman we were talking about here. So not sure. So anyway, guys.
What is
that was a mistake. A Jerry. I raised my hands up. I said that. I'm sorry, and I apologise.
Okay, so as I say, look. At the end of the day, what I'm going to say is this: I'm gonna agree with you because as I was talking about fairness, freedom of speech, if somebody wants to get angry at this, they can. It's up to them. But as human beings, we have to understand, right? If something doesn't suit you, maybe sometimes it's good to just say, this is not for me. Because I have seen people go after other people and say, oh, you did so and so. But when they do something else and you're like, look, I'm going to bring it. I don't care. Let me bring it on. Vegans, they'll come at you, right?
Whoa. How do we just switch up like that?
No,
continue.
I'm trying to I'm trying to make a point, right? That they'll come at people saying, "Oh, why do you eat meat?" Blah blah blah. This and this. But I thought plants are also part of something that's a living thing, a plant. So why don't you also sit down? Why don't you also sit down and say, "Oh, I'm hurting the plants"? Why don't you? Because plants are the ones that bring us oxygen, but you guys want to point out, saying, "Oh, you meat eaters are the issue." Why don't you look at yourselves also when you're eating those veggies and killing those innocent plants? You're killing, you know. So this is what I'm saying. So no, the vegans can come at me, bring the smoke. If you're a vegan, bring the smoke. I would like to sit down on camera with a vegan because I have smoke for you. I have smoke for you. So I even had a conversation.
His whole career.
Look, I also had a conversation with a vegan, and it also went this. That's what I'm saying. I sit back and listen to people and say, you know what, to each their own. You know, if you feel that way, everybody is different in this world. If we were all the same, this world wouldn't be interesting. So fair play. If you want to be something else, be something else. You drop the bomb.
Wow.
Drop the bomb. I want the bomb too.
You want the bomb? Okay.
That is unreal.
Mic drop on Patrick.
Bruh.
You know what I mean?
That is unreal, Patrick. That is unreal. That is unreal. Patrick for president.
Yeah.
Comments are wilding out.
Let's see.
Let's see. Where were we?
Oh my days.
Gracias, man.
Definitely Francis says, I'm vegan. Watch what you say or you will get cancelled. Oh, come on. He sounds like somebody who is bold and says misogynistic things. Why eat food for animal to save animals?
Whoa! This is going way too far.
Wow.
This is going way too far. It is Patrick for president. It is Patrick for president. All right. Guys, just this is too much. This is too much. All right, we get it over.
Autocorrect gone wrong.
Autocorrect gone wrong.
Don't be too nice,
guys.
That says vegans have no taste buds. Oh my god.
Ouch.
My god.
So after wow.
That's a good question. That's actually a good question. Actually, that's a brilliant question. Vegans that are there, we want to ask, do vegans give head? You know, vegans of the community. I mean, it is open. The chat is open. It's
Wait. I'm way too slow to understand this question. Can you please break it down?
Lies.
You're lying.
I don't even know what he means. Like vegans.
Emotional, damn it.
What's the connection? Can you explain? Like, what's the connection there? Like
special classes.
Like I need someone else to break it down. Like layer after layer.
Come on now.
When school is done, we'll keep you. After the classes, we'll keep you.
Yes, after.
No, but Francis definitely has like that. That's a good question. Do they give head? Do they give head?
I think what were we talking about? We're talking about is it a man's game? How did we get here, guys? How did we get here?
Well, I mean, you know, the comments got us there, but
all right, okay. All right.
I'll cue the music.
Cue the music.
All right.
Wow. If you're vegans, put your hands up. If you're vegans, put your hands up.
Because you can't give head.
You're
Aye,
silly.
that's
You're
too
silly.
much.
Happy
That's too
Friday,
much.
guys. Happy Friday. And this is
Happy
5
Friday,
rounds.
you.
This is how we do it. The energy is exploding, and this is how we do it.
Okay, wait. Let me get back in these comments, man.
Yeah.
Definitely no Francis says. Definitely no Francis says, "Do vegans give head?" Serious question. And then obviously, Raluka B says, "Look, I'm done with you, Francis." And
The
then
breakup has happened. The breakup
and
has
then
happened.
definitely no Francis says, "Are vegans capable of performing oral sex?" And then this one, Raluka goes, "Maybe they just don't swap."
Oh my days!
This man, this
And then-
community we have. This
Francis
I'm actually feeling really hot now because y'all are doing too much.
Definitely no Francis says, and this is why I could never be vegan. I love tacos too much. Oh my! Oh my God! Okay, guys, behave yourselves. Behave yourselves.
And guys,
I'm sorry. Did definitely not Francis just say he was vegan? Now he's switching sides.
Of course
guys,
he is. He switches sides all the time.
He's
You're
bi, he's
trash.
bi.
You a trash, sir.
guys, just to put it out there, yeah. So guys, just to put it out there, every month end we have our 5 rounds IG live. So that question that definitely not Francis just put up there: do vegans give head? It's serious questions. We would like to ask that on IG live and understand the whole thing and stuff like that.
And that is next week, guys. Next week, so
that is next week, and we would like to understand because
you want to bring that to IG. You
excuse our
asking to be
curiosity.
cancelled.
Excuse our curiosity. We're just trying to be.
I think that's a better one. Excuse my curiosity. You can ask that question.
Oh yeah, true story. We also have that show on 5 rounds. If you haven't watched that, you can actually go back in our video section, and then you can find Excuse My Curiosity there, and you can find all the crazy videos of 5 rounds. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification button. We're always on the Friday. And guys, with all this talk and stuff like that, here, our social handles are right down there, and you can find us on IG, Twitter. You can find us on TikTok, Twitter, and Facebook. I can't keep up with you guys. You're so good. Anyways, just going back to the conversation tonight. If you're just joining us, we're talking about is it a man's game? This is all from Graeme Souness comment. That was Souness comment. That was that came about last week's game when Chelsea played Tottenham and the game ended 2-2, and the managers got pissed and everything. It was all tossing and pushing and all that stuff, and that comment was passed on. We were just here to discuss if it's man's world and if football is a man's world and if it's still the man's world and why do we still think that it's a man's world. So in talking about this, what should we do going forward? Like, what should we do? Like, are we supposed to zip our mouth every time we come online and talk about, something that's gender related and all that stuff? Are we supposed to continue our lives and not be open about what we think about a certain situation? I'll ask you, Patrick.
Cancel him. Cancel him.
Do me a favor, please. Get out of here. Get out of here, man. Shit,
Oh my days.
We watched this man. We watched this man for seasons going after Pogba, boy Pogba.
Yeah.
So cancel him. No, I'm joking. Look, end of the day, our co-host Vanessa said it in the best way. When you're up on camera, especially when you're a big figure like Graeme Souness, you have to you just have to watch what you do. Same thing as Jamie when he spat on that kid.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, I don't know how.
No, but let me try to correct you on this one, Patrick. If you're gonna censor yourself on camera, you're not gonna censor yourself when you're home. That means you're the same character, right?
Yeah, but this is the thing: is you just what position you're in, right? I know that people are saying there's freedom of speech, and I said I always like freedom of speech, but he, as a guy who's on TV and who's a big figure, I'm pretty sure Sky also tell you beforehand that my dude, you have to be careful with what you say. But look, at the end of the day, I'm still going to the thing that I think he didn't mean it in that way. But also in this world, as you know, there's people like one daddy who are always waiting, watching you, making sure they pick something from what you say and cancel you. Because one daddy, believe it or not, one daddy is a troll. He trolled one of my friends, one of my good friends, at the point where my friend had to smoke one daddy. So this one daddy will make sure they go after you.
Was able to smoke one tally. Is that what you're saying?
What?
You're saying your friend was able to smoke one tally?
No, one daddy who smoked my friend at the point where my friend had to.
So he put your friend to silence. All right, continue.
Yeah, but all I'm saying, that's how it is. I'm going to conclude that way because that's how the world is these days. As I said, I don't accept it. Some of the things that keep happening, but you have to be careful how you say things. Sometimes explain them in a way. Maybe after you make that boo-boo, just explain that. Look, I didn't mean it in that way. I meant it in this way. That's all I can say.
Nice one, Patrick. Nice. It's so nice.
I didn't mean it in that way.
I didn't mean it in that way. And Nala, guys in the comments, what's your view there? What should we do, like, going forward? Like, should we censor ourselves? Do you think when you're going out there and you're talking about something, do you feel like you need to censor yourself in every conversation? And do you think that people should always react to a certain, like, word that you put in a sentence and all that stuff? Come on, hit us up in the comments there. Nala, going back to the same question.
I think Patrick is already he pretty much summarized that. I'm still sticking to if you're a public figure, I think before you speak, you're supposed to sort of like analyze what you're about to say, because I know people get heated in debates whatsoever, but at the end of the day, you're a public figure and people will put you on that pedestal. And when you say certain things, they will come for you and they will cancel you. So I think you just have to sort of like step back, analyze what you're about to say. Everybody does that. It just depends on the setting where you are. Everybody does that. Everybody has to sort of like what's going on?
Continue.
Some people and they won't stop. Trust me, they won't stop until you're cancelled. So I don't know. And you know what? I know common sense is not very common these days.
Yes.
But let's just use our common sense.
It's never been.
Because a lot of kids look up to you when you're on TV. That's why, as I said, when Jamie spat on that kid.
Well, kids can take you everywhere now these days. You're canceled, you're done, you're out. Anyways, Wantali, you have any comment on this, or should we, reaching the last?
Definitely what Francis says. Whether you like it or not, if you're a public figure, you really need to be PC, or you will end up in unnecessary problems due to someone's fragile ego.
There you go.
Interesting take.
That isn't real. So, guys in the comments, I think we've actually reached on that very hour of closing. We do 1 hour of the show. Guys, relax. Relax. When I'm off,
relax, man.
Relax. Chill. All right, so I'll be eating the mic just to make sure everything is there. Guys, we've reached at the last end of the show. We normally do 1 hour, so thank you for joining us and giving us your view about this discussion. If you'd like us to talk about anything else, just hit us up at 5Roundz, 5Roundz at gmail.com, 5Roundz at gmail.com, and we can take your points and everything. We can discuss everything about what you need us to talk about. Hey, hour. Yeah. So anyways, thank you very much for being with us. This is 5Roundz show, and we're on every Fridays, and Fridays at 7 p.m. Saturdays on every last weekend of the month there. And looking at Patrick right there, he's repping the 5Roundz merch. Like you can see, the rest of us are also repping the 5Roundz merch. If you'd like to wear one of our merch there, just hit us up. We can, hook you up with the 5Roundz merch. We're always open to, different designs. It's all up to you to, give us a shout. Oh, waffle.com. So we're just going to close this. It's 8 o'clock.
No. Hold up a second, man. Okay, guys, tomorrow we're dropping a big interview with a guy named AK on the board. He is a Malawian hype man stroke producer stroke everything. Is like a multi-purpose person. This guy has made hits after hits after hits.
He's DJ Khaled, but in Malawi.
He's the Malawian DJ Khaled. You could call him that. Yeah. So guys, if you've never heard of him, it's still a good interview to listen to because what he's been through is quite massive. He's a very very, very, very gripping character. You will learn a lot about this guy. You learn a lot about music as well. So I just play you a clip of what we're dropping tomorrow. We're dropping it about 11 a.m. tomorrow. All right, here we go.
Boom. Boy, it's your boy AK on the board. And you're with my boys on 5Roundz podcast. I met Zimuvuta in my hostel room. I mixed that song with my headsets. You see, not headphones, literally headsets. Before we just used to be making music, perfecting ourselves. We didn't know that the music was getting to Blantyre, and other people were listening to it until I think we were called. Was it one of the social weekends and whatnot? And we went there, started performing. The guys started performing, and we could see the crowd like. People actually know they know our songs. Like we didn't know we had an impact out there, but we were just making music. And Lilongwe, we didn't have a lot of functions. We didn't have radio stations, but in Blantyre mostly, that's where Malawian they appreciate more Malawian music. It's just recently that Lilongwe has joined the trend. But so our music would get out there, but we didn't know that our music was known. We didn't know that we were making hits.
Okay. So check it out tomorrow, guys. The link will be ready soon enough. So 11 a.m. tomorrow. It's gonna be there. It's not live, it's recorded, so you can listen to it at whatever time. All right. So back to you, Mr. MP.
I thought you were going to sign us out there. So, guys, thank you very much for joining us tonight. Tonight we're talking about it's a man's game and everything. So we're going to shut this down. So thank you very much for being on 5Roundz.
All right, let's run this track.
Hey.